7258.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
Vince Lombardi once said, perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. At Business, we talk a lot about business here. You are on with Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you're there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them at tandemhr.com. Or call 630-928-0510. That phone number again, 630-928-0510. It's a jam-packed week of content and information you won't want to miss. It's a live show. You can call us at 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. And this week we're talking all about growth. And this week we'll be joined by fantastic guests, Bruce Leon, Dale Turkin, and Igor Mr. Floor, along with the new Playmaker Spotlight. And I'll be sharing tips on designing the perfect website at the end of the show. It's a live show. Call us, 312-642-5600. Joined up first with the man himself of Tandem HR, the fellow who we call Mr. Solutions. That's right. It's Bruce Leon of Tandem HR. Bruce, welcome back to the show.
How you doing, Shalom?
Fantastic. Interesting statistic is that we are now at, I believe it's week number 53, and I believe we've had over 150 fantastic entrepreneurs and thought leaders on this program. And that's thanks to the fantastic work of Tandem HR.
Actually, I think it also is a great work of Mr. Shalom Klein and the interesting shows that you run every week and how you manage to give out great advice and really can help people change their business focus.
Well, you know what? The theme of this week is growth, and I think this show has grown, and it's thanks to a good partnership. So, Bruce, you deal with a lot of companies at different stages. Do you think that there's one thing that you see in a successful company that causes them to grow and to succeed?
Wow. One thing, right?
One thing.
You know, I don't know. You know, for me, it depends on the day, you know, the week. You know, I always seem to uncover that secret sauce. Lately, I've been really focusing on talent. Really, that's been my thing. I've been telling owners it's really all about getting your talent inspired. You know, I'll tell you something interesting. We've had a good growth ourselves. You know, the market's tightening up. Our good employees that we train well, that are doing well, are on LinkedIn. They're getting calls from recruiters. The only way that an employee will not take a call from a recruiter is when they're inspired to come to work every day, they believe in the mission of the company, and they don't want to work anywhere else. And by the way, not only do they come to work passionately, but then they'll bring A-quality people to come work with them. And so I believe if you want to grow, you've got to find a way to maintain and retain great talent.
That's great. Talent is I guess what you're saying is the recipe for success. But I'm curious, how long do most people stay at a company?
Look, you know, that's the question of the day. People say that the younger crowd gets antsy after a couple of years, anyways, and they look for new opportunities. And as they're not even stable in one city, they like to move around. A lot of them like to live in the city now. That's been a challenge for those of us that have businesses in the suburbs. So you know, I don't really believe it. I really believe that people want to have a purpose in their life and in the way that they do the business. And if you can create that purpose, they will stay longer, okay? Even if they have to work telecommunications. We actually lost two great employees, one that moved because the husband got transferred to Grand Rapids, another to Arizona. We're keeping them on. We've got great jobs for them to do, and they're going to stay with us. So, you know, if they're great employees and they're passionate about what they do, you'll find a way to keep them on, and they'll stay on.
So I guess when we talk about growth, really you're inspiring me to think that there's really two directions, growth of a company, but growth also professionally, and we are all professionals ourselves. So you think it's possible for young talent to grow within one organization without jumping around from place to place?
Look, Shalom, I'm not telling you that we've solved the magic bean here, because certainly my organization has had a fair amount of turnover, and a lot of it's come from those sleepless nights that every business owner has. What keeps them up at night, and you see this happening, and you're like, you're hearing from people like yourself who tell me, hey, it's inevitable. It's just, overhire, overtrain, you're going to have 30% turnover in that group. But I kind of woke up and decided I wasn't going to just accept that anymore. And I'm trying to make a difference. And once I can figure it out, I'm going to try to spread that gospel to other business owners. But I do think, to retrain new people all the time and to refit it, it's a stress on customers. It's a stress on other employees. So I don't want to just buy into the fact that it's inevitable. And so we got to try to solve that situation.
So what sort of programs can a company implement internally to help people grow and help people succeed? What are some of the tips that you offer to your clients? So
I'll tell you the number one thing, and believe me, I'm learning this as much as you from your show, from my owners, from just being open and transparent with the people I deal with all the time. It's not about money, really. It's about managers. People stay if they believe in the people they're working with and the people they're working for. And I do believe it's about training and about constantly keeping them inspired, giving them, upgrading their abilities to do more, to give them career tracks. So I do think it's about engaging them. It's about training them. It's about keeping them inspired and showing them the career path. And then to have really good managers who, are not perceived as people that are just slave drivers or people that are, don't care. You've got to have managers that really buy into the program and will walk by them and thank them for things that they're doing, help them when they're not doing so great, sit down with them when they're having a bad day and talk them through it. And that's what's going to keep people growing in the business and not looking for other jobs elsewhere.
We're talking with Bruce Leon of Tandem HR, who we always call the Solution Center. So, Bruce, you know how we like to follow current events as well. Recently, over the past few weeks, so Mayor Rahm Emanuel was elected to a second term. How competitive do you think Chicago is as a business climate, and what sort of things do you think Rahm Emanuel will do to attract the cool businesses like those at 1871 and other just fantastic businesses that probably most people don't associate with Chicago?
So I'd like to tell you two things about that. First of all, I was with the CFO of GoGo yesterday. GoGo is a company that's in Schaumburg that Rahm had courted to move downtown, and they were building out their facility. And he told me that they were having an issue with ComEd. And he happened to mention that, Rahm Emanuel and his staff have made himself available to businesses. When you have a problem like that, call my office and we'll get right on it. And he actually had some success with that. And that makes a difference for businesses to move in the city, business to come elsewhere, to know that you've got a focused business office at the mayor's office that you can call and get things done. Having said that, I think there's another interesting thing that we have to learn from Rahm Emanuel, and that is, many people believe in the business world that the type A driven, that I don't want to say the word egomaniac, but that to be a success in business, you got to be that, number one competitive player, kind of that brutish kind of go forward, anybody in my way, I'm going to mull over. I think, Rahm had that sort of attitude and people felt that way about him. I personally have had a couple interactions with him, both with the our sponsorship of the Chicago Innovation Awards and with other things. And he kind of had that attitude. And I think, it was a kind of lesson for him what this election came up, which is that, you also need to be collaborative. People need to feel connected to you. They want a winner. They want a competitor. But they also want somebody they feel has that collaboration. And then you actually saw him get on and actually admit, I need to have a softer side on some of his commercials. And I think that was a lesson for any business owner as well, right? We sometimes forget that we're so competitive and we want to drive to win all the time. And there is a humility that's really important in the whole thing. I really think it's the key. I've told a number of key employees in the last couple of weeks, I'm sorry for something that I think we should have taken a different direction, might have been better for them, but I think they just appreciated hearing from somebody that a certain amount of humility. And I think the mayor we kind of learned that from the mayor and we sort of saw how he sort of readjusted. So I think there were two issues there,
That's good. So, Bruce, we've got about 1 minute remaining. Believe it or not, we're already halfway through 2015.
Wow.
What is the one thing that you're hoping, you're at the halfway point, what's your sort of mid-year resolution?
Well, I think we're in for a good business environment for the second half of the year, but we have to keep our eyes on things that are going on out there in the economy today and eventually getting higher interest rates potentially and seeing some other things that could be foreboding. But I think right now my resolution is to work on sales, work on developing new business, not being distracted, myself in terms of being focused on what to keep my eyes on the prize here. And for me, it's really helping grow the sales and keep current customers happy. That's going to be my focus, and not get so distracted by some of those other things that sometimes, as you know, can often take up time and energy that aren't really your main priority. So for me, it's a little bit of time management, which is always something I'm working on for myself personally, but to keep focused on the sales side of things.
Fantastic. And Bruce is one of the easiest guys to get a hold of. That's because Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them at tandemhr.com. You can email Bruce at bleon@tandemhr.com or call 630-928-0510. You can also get in touch by checking out their website and looking at all their content and information that they have. And coming up, we're going to check in with executive business coach and award-winning Vistage chair Dick Smith. But Bruce, as always, thanks for being on the show. We'll have you back on real soon.
Thank you for all you're doing. Let's have a great second half of the year.
You bet.
How can you get